So this song's called Homesick is Where the Heart Is. Cause you see. I'm homesick but needed to move out. All alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out. I'm all alone in the streets of this new town. I'm on a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. My roots, my home, my place, my roots, my home estate. As blue as ever, though it's almost gray. A poet would claim it's a moping, complaining man whose bones would quake when the weakest wind would blow its frame. Adjacent to the school we used to go and skate. And when it was cold, we played with snowy caves or singing to the sun slopes to slay. Something spellbinding experienced in them slower days. But oddly, new field is starting to feel old and plain. After Jericho, my folks only waited 2 grades to know bad stray mobilistic tents down. 3 rooms won't contain 6 now. Smithtown was unknown and strange. I was stubborn, seldom a social strain. Unapproachable, homesick for seldom. Stroking slave to visit and sit with my kids since I felt solely safe. Now, after I awoke and gained friends, sold insane flicks, returning no way to live. With old neighbors in a low rate donated crib. Off the philanthropy and love of Loretta and my homie Greg. That's family enough and indefinitely I owe them thanks. After 2 years in my chosen quaint devoted base, I shed that shit. Higher calling and foam my brain. Off the Rolodex and notes I take. In between working that fast through pass through window and late night roads. That we flow at rate night explosives. Cloaked in fragment, smokes and spray pans that praise the former stain. The Da Vinci Code and glaze over the gross mundane. Chicken scratch on bricks of tats from toys of bloated game. But no grace, an era I mostly crave. I've grown and crazed, sinking, shrinking feelings, but also growing pangs. I know the saying, nothing gold can stay. I felt its potentation, quote for days, the road for days, the ghost of breaks and popping, and then no souls were towed away. At last, it abated my shoulders' weight, I took it to motivate. I hit that blotch road that's way overdue for a coat of paint. Repair those potholes like graves, that pockmark its broken face. To go and make a show out of my boldest traits. With what I wrote on page, printed when I flow on stage, spitting in hopes to change listeners and bestow that same wisdom. I'm homesick but needed to move out. I'm all alone in the streets of this new town. I'm on a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out. I'm all alone in the streets of this new town. I'm on a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. To be honest and admit it, I'd rather pay homage than a visit to the stomping grounds I've lived in. As it's odd, all of the differences, the faltering flimsy strips and the boarded up windows split from the mom and pop's withering. The nostalgia I get hit with when my childhood's reminisce. Call it a haunt with conviction, with all the horror considered when seeing how the night filled the kids and their clawing to fill a fix. Shredded and shriveled bits of festering filaments. No belonging felt in the midst of this experience. Just nauseousness from homesicknesses. Taking stock of things, altered on my old property. Frustrated, feeling like a foreign freak. I talk on beats, recording these philosophies intensify. All with the honest feeling of destiny to represent these times. With a legacy I intend to write in. Songs to feed my obsolete friends with a sense of pride. Despite that, when I get to see them, it's never what I'd expect to find. Suddenly you get to bump into someone you haven't seen in several months. You spend a couple minutes catching up. Some retrospective chuckles on how your friendship was. Talk about what severed us. Explain cell numbers that's never mentioned, but you knew they'd blow off your message once. We'll change our ways after we take our separate ones. It's another several months. That phone is yet to buzz. I guess I should expect as much. In these situations, it rarely ever does. My sincerest respect and love to all of y'all who've kept in touch. I'm homesick but needed to move out. I'm all alone in the streets of this new town. I'm on a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out. All alone in the streets of this new town. Trends on a road trip, try teaching this new crowd the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. This song is from a new project I'm working on called